back. Well, a lot of stocks to track, so let's get straight to the action then. We have our research team who's standing by with CNBC-TV18's top stocks for the day. Let's start off with the defense stocks. Upasana joins us to run us through that list. Upasana, morning.
Good morning. Defence Acquisition Council has approved 10 capital acquisition proposals worth 1.45 lakh crores. And according to Phillip Capital, some of the key projects include procurement of future-ready combat vehicles, for which L&T and Bharat Forge are expected to be the major contenders for this contract. Also, procurement of air defence fire control radars, for which BEL Data Patterns and Astra Microwave are likely to benefit from this project. Dornier 228 aircraft has also received the nod for Indian Coast Guard, for which the brokerage believes it is a positive development for HAL. Next generation fast patrol and offshore patrol vessels have also received the nod, for which Mazagon shipbuilders and Cochin Shipyard, Garden Reach shipbuilders are the potential beneficiaries. Hence, all these stocks remain on our radar, and I expect all of them to open in green today.
All right, Upasana, thanks very much indeed. There was so much excitement on these stocks even yesterday in anticipation of that meeting. Let's move on and talk about the CNBC-TV18 news break that got confirmed. Yash was telling us about a possible OFS in GIC, and Yash, it is indeed happening.
Well, that's absolutely correct, and it's been long awaited. 2017 was the listing, and after that, government hasn't sold any stake. So 6 years after the listing, the OFS finally being approved by the government when it comes to GIC Re. This will be good news in a larger context for the company, because there'll be more supply that will come into the market. Right now, just 15% into the public market, 85% with the government, and out of that 15%, also 5% with LIC. So, of course, good news in the larger context, but the reason why I'm going with red is because of the discount. The floor price, of course, is about 395 rupees a share, which is 6% discount to the price where the stock closed yesterday. The market was anticipating somewhere above 400, but that's come a little lower. So that's why I'm going with a discount, slightly less than 7% stake up for grabs as far as the GIC Re OFS is concerned. The government looking to raise about 4,700 crore rupees through this OFS.
All right, Yash, thank you very much for that. So that's GIC, which we will keep an eye out on. There is also IEX, which we want to sort of focus on. Vivek has got details. Vivek, good morning.
Well, good morning. The month gone by appears to have been very strong as far as the short-term power market is concerned, especially when it comes to the volume activity. Total volumes up almost 36% on a year-on-year basis for IEX, coming in at over 12,040 million units. The total electricity volume at IEX was up 17% on a year-on-year basis. Now, the key market that the company has, which is the DAM market or the day-ahead market, that saw volumes higher by almost 22.5%. Now, this was actually aided by the fact that there was a significant dip as far as pricing was concerned. Pricing was down almost 38% on a year-on-year basis. What led to the increased sell-side liquidity? Number one, good monsoons ensured that there was increased supply as far as hydropower was concerned. Now, coming to the real-term market, total electricity volumes up almost 27.3%. And very interestingly, renewable energy certificate, a newer vertical for the company, that saw almost 8.5 times increase as far as the volumes are concerned. This on the back of the fact that prices over there dip significantly, and companies generally go ahead and do this to meet the renewable purchase obligations that they have.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Vivek. Well, let's go to Vamakshi. She's tracking a couple of more names, Havells as well as AU Small Finance Bank. Hey, Vamakshi, morning.
Well, good morning, Nigel. Let me first start off with Havells. The company has started commercial production of cables at Tumakuru on 3rd September, that is yesterday. Additionally, the company has announced its plans to further expand its cables manufacturing capacity from 3.5 lakh kilometers to 4.63 lakh kilometers per annum to cater to the potential demand in the same facility. Additional investment of around 450 crores is what the company will need, and the production is expected to commence by September 2026. So given these factors, going with the green for Havells. But apart from that, EU Small Finance Bank is also expected to open higher, and that is because the company has submitted application to RBI seeking approval for voluntary transition from Small Finance Bank to Universal Bank. Now keep in mind that SFBs generally have restrictions. Example, they need to keep nearly 75% of their loans below 25 lakh. They have minimum 25% branches in rural areas. So all of this is rather restrictive to growth. But universal banks, on the other hand, have no no such restrictions except nearly 40% of loans to priority sectors. So therefore, this transition to Universal Bank will bode well for AU Small Finance Bank, and given those factors, going with the green for this counter.
Okay, all right, got it. Thank you very much, Vamakshi, for that. So let's quickly recap our list of stocks to look at this morning. The ones that have positive news flow, of course, some of the defense names like Hindustan Aeronautics, BEL, Mazagon Shipbuilders, Garden Reach Shipbuilders, Cochin, Shipyard, Bharat Forge. IEX is in focus on the back of the monthly volumes data. Havells and AU Small Finance Bank also on the green side. The only stock on the radar on the red is actually GIC Re, as we expect that OFS to get underway. All right, so that's the stock list of the morning. Now let's look at a roundup of all the commodity market action. There's so much going on here with the general sense of risk aversion and risk off. Manisha, good morning. Where do we start? Maybe crude?
Well, yes, almost everything, especially in the non-agro space, has started Asia on a weaker note. That's the direction we've been headed in, but the steep decline that we saw overnight clearly brought in a lot of funds to widen up their long positions here. So the crude oil prices, well, yes, have declined 5% overnight, trading at a 9-month lows onto this one. The China data has been on the weaker side. The Libya output is now coming back on board, and then markets also are looking at the U.S. summer driving season. That is ended with a deficit as well. Similar is the case with metal prices. Sharp declines onto this one. The weak China PMI data clearly has dented the sentiment here. So overnight, we've seen 1 to 3% of a cut coming in for metals like platinum, steel, zinc. Copper is now back below $9,000 a ton as well. And it's a similar scenario for precious metal prices, where gold and silver prices also have continued to decline, trading at multi-week lows right now. So the only thing that the street is now watching out for is the U.S. non-farm payroll data. Well, that comes in on Friday. But ahead of that, the strength in U.S. dollar clearly weighing across board.
Okay, all right, Manisha, thanks a lot for that. Well, for the time being, though, we'll slip into a short break. You come back, we'll have Deven Chokse, who will be joining in to help us with some fundamental analysis. Stay with us.